In the last section, you learned how to make objects and manipulate properties on them. But that's only half the story. In addition to properties that can be numbers, strings, booleans, or other types, objects can have functions attached to them. I briefly mentioned in the last video that functions are just another data type. So you can just add another property to your object and assign it a function. This looks like this. We've created a messenger object, and we've created a new property called say hello, and we assign a function to that. This is almost exactly the same way we were creating functions before, but notice that this time you're not giving the function a name. You just use the function keyword directly followed by parentheses. Because it doesn't have a name, it's called an anonymous function. But you've assigned it to the messenger.sayHello property, so you can access it from there. Functions that are attached to objects like this are often called methods to distinguish them from other functions that are not part of objects you created. So don't get confused by the term method, it just means a function that's part of an object. Well, let's try this. I've created a new empty methods.js file that is loaded from the index.html file. And here I'll just create the messenger object and give it the sayHello function that logs hello. And now you can call that function by saying messenger.sayHello. And we check the console, and that worked. Now this is exactly what's going on when you type console.log or math.random. Console and math are objects that are built into the JavaScript interpreter in the browser. Log and random are methods of those objects. They're just functions. It's the same when you create a string and call a function like substring. That string you created with quotes is converted to a JavaScript string object. That string object has all kinds of methods on it that will manipulate that string. Like other object properties, you can assign functions when you create the object. Again, just list the function name within the brackets, followed by a colon, and then the function itself. Object methods have one other very powerful feature. They're able to access the object that they're attached to with a keyword this. Let's add a couple of other properties to the messenger object, greeting and name. Now within the body of the sayHello method, you can use the keyword this to refer to the messenger object. So you can change that console log function to this.greeting plus comma, space, plus this.name. This.greeting is really messenger.greeting, and this.name is really messenger.name. So running this, we see hello everyone in the console. Now after creating the messenger object, you can change either or both of those properties. We could say message.greeting equals konnichiwa, and message.name equals minasan. Run it again, and we're saying hello everyone in Japanese. You can go pretty deep into this subject of objects. You've most likely at least heard of the subject of object-oriented programming. It's a vast subject concerning the creation, manipulation, and use of objects to perform various programming tasks. But at its heart, it's all about objects, properties, and methods. Okay, now we've covered all the data types in JavaScript, and we can start doing some really interesting stuff. Next up, I'm going to cover events, and let you introduce a bit of interactivity into your programs.